Today we are breaking down the exact moments leading to his arrest, the terrifying confrontation with law enforcement, and how a tragedy was barely avoided. Welcome to UFC World, your ultimate source for everything inside and outside the octagon. Dustin Poirier was just arrested after a wild airport meltdown. This shocking incident exposes the dark reality of retirement in combat sports. When a legendary fighter hangs up the gloves, they often lose their entire identity. The wildest part about this situation is that Poirier only retired 11 months ago. He is already spiraling and having an incredibly difficult time adjusting to normal life. But here is where it gets interesting. Poirier actually warned us that this exact scenario would happen. He openly admitted that life after the octagon was causing him to lose himself completely. Poirier stated that if he does not keep his mind constantly busy, he becomes a danger to himself and others. That is exactly what we just witnessed at the airport. He was highly intoxicated and ready to physically fight a police officer. Fortunately, a police officer on the scene recognized the former champion. If that cop did not know who Poirier was, things would have turned really ugly. Imagine an officer trying to grapple an elite lightweight to the ground. If a taser fails to stop him, it becomes a deadly situation. Luckily, this officer knew to keep his distance and successfully calmed him down. The police officer did an amazing job handling the situation. We will probably be back, so just go ahead. What is up? We are looking at UFC World right now. The volume is sitting at 37, which is crazy. Let us start with 7 units. Exactly 7 units. No, we are ready right now. After that incredible 37-10 performance, you are a good boy. Dustin Poirier is subconsciously pulling up his shorts right there. It is actually a fascinating detail because he does this exact same thing in his official UFC fights. It is an automatic habit for him. In reality, that specific gesture is a clear sign that he is absolutely ready to fight. He is completely locked in, especially when he is heavily intoxicated like this in front of the police officer. We genuinely hope Dustin gets the critical help he needs right now. That is exactly what he admitted after the entire incident happened. He responded directly to the situation with total honesty. This is a direct quote from his statement. "I am at a point where I need some help. Walking away from fighting has not been easy on me, and alcohol is not the answer." He continued with even more personal details. "It has ruined my father's life, and I will not allow it to ruin mine. My family deserves me at 100%. I am trying to do everything I can to get my mind right and take the right next steps." That is the end of his quote. It takes a lot of courage to admit that publicly. Here at UFC World, we truly hope he gets that professional guidance. This is just the very beginning of his retirement journey. It is a dangerous phase, but here is where it gets interesting. We have witnessed this exact same pattern happen before in professional sports. Many elite athletes go on a horrible downward spiral immediately after they retire. This heartbreaking issue happens to a lot of guys from many different high-pressure professions. Once these individuals finally retire, they completely lose their sense of identity. That specific job is who they became over the years. That intense job was their entire definition. Whether you are a dedicated doctor, a skilled surgeon, or a busy lawyer, when you do something for so long, day in and imagine fighting for 20 years, every single day, with just one goal on your mind. From the very beginning, the dream was to become an undisputed world champion. You gave it absolutely everything. Your health, your brain, and your body. But ultimately, you never quite reached the absolute top. That is a heavy burden to carry, and it might be a massive part of the current struggle. He never got that final satisfaction. He never felt satisfied that he finally accomplished his ultimate goal. Instead, he ended his career before he could make it happen. There must be a feeling deep down that he just cannot shake, a sense that his entire career is unfulfilled. Even though he made millions of dollars, even though he fought on the biggest cards and faced the absolute best fighters in the world, he missed out on the one thing that mattered most to him. He did not win that undisputed title. Now, we are just speculating here, but this could be a massive piece of the puzzle. When fighters look for help mentally, they usually start talking to psychologists and dealing with that side of sports. It is very likely he is seeing professionals now. There is also the physical side to consider, like getting checked out by a doctor for CTE. If we are being completely honest, almost every single legend in this sport has CTE to some extent. It comes in varying degrees, of course, but it is deeply to see someone completely lose their identity the way he did. The thing about Dustin is that he is incredibly upfront about it. He is not afraid to talk about this dark aspect of the sport. So when that video surfaced of him trying to fight a police officer, it did not actually surprise me. He has hinted at these exact struggles before. He opened up during a previous interview and his words were incredibly raw. When asked how he was doing, he said, "Thanks for asking that. I am trying to navigate